a little over a year ago, Farage rejoined politics as a candidate for reform. And the election came around, we got rid of the Tories, and as a result, we got Labour. They just got a handful of reform seats, better than many people thought. But ever since, there's been an inexorable growth in reform support because reform claimed to address a topic at the root of so many of modern Britain's problems, and a topic which the media and the political class have been reluctant to address: immigration, or specifically illegal immigration. Yet, the Tories elected an engineer whose mother engineered her British citizenship by coming on holiday to give birth to her, and then by returning so that she'd be in school in Britain at the age of 16, ensuring she'd get British citizenship. Well, I've no problem with Kemi, and I'm sure she's contributed greatly to this country and will continue to do so. But it shows how the Tories have a willingness to play with the rules and play along with the rules. These schemes have been exploited for people's benefit. And it's not for the country's benefit, it's for people's personal benefit. And I don't have any problem with it. Just like Angela Rayner wants to structure her house ownership declarations to save money, well, wouldn't we all if we were in that same luxurious boat with her? However, the Tories have failed to be an opposition. They're almost invisible. Really, the official opposition is the Conservatives. The real opposition is reform. And just look at Keir Starmer's actions, policy statements and speeches. He doesn't really worry too much about Kemi. She doesn't keep him up at night. But Farage does. And rightly so. Because Farage's party has grown and grown and grown. And no matter how many times you call them far right, or you blame them for Brexit, or you blame them for breathing the same air as good people, you still don't address the fact that people want to vote for reform. And those are people who would traditionally vote for Labour or the Conservative. And why? Because there's a lot of people who've been left behind. And there's a lot of people who don't see the benefits of modern Britain for them. Now, you can address that in a mature way, but we never do. We just get slogans and buzzwords and diversity is our strength, immigrants built Britain, all these pleasantries. Well, when people go to the fish and chip shop and they can't afford their fish and chips, and they struggle to afford their rent because it's going up, and there aren't enough reservoirs to provide water for people, and there aren't enough hospital beds, and there aren't enough GP places, they sometimes wonder, could it be because we've deliberately imported millions of people? When half of those people live on income support of one form or another, you could say that the benefit system can't afford the level of immigration that we've both supported and encouraged. Well, clearly, a lot of people are planning to vote reform, and reform is currently sitting on a higher proportion of the vote than Labour and Conservatives put together. So I wondered, will the establishment take this laying down? And I would say they won't. Because look at the last election. Channel 4 managed to find an actor an actor who'd worked for them in the past, whose speciality was rough talking, and he turned up and he roughly talked like a common man, and he spouted crazy, racist, weird things. Well, they had their front page story. I noticed he never got charged with anything. I thought that some of the things he said were far worse than some of the things that get you arrested or get 6 police officers banging on your door in the middle of the night for 30 words. Some of the stuff he said seemed dodgy. Yet nobody knocked on his door and nobody took him to court. Could it be that it's because he worked for one of those establishment organisations? Could it be that Channel 4 weren't just lucky to find him? Could it be that what he said was acceptable? I don't know. But they won't take it laying down. And I predict that the next couple of years, politics is going to get very nasty. And the problem with that is that it puts people off, but it doesn't put them off voting for someone. It puts them off trusting the media, and it puts them off trusting the establishment political parties whose manifestos are all a pale-faced lie, and we know it. So, really, if they want to stop him, they need to provide honesty and straightforwardness and not just maudslin.